What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman of the Time Teller, and it's time for a T3 watch rant. Now, guys, don't worry. Today we're going to be talking about something I consider to be fairly positive. We're going to be talking about Panerai. Now, I know my longtime viewers will be like, wait a minute, Panerai on this channel in a positive light? That's impossible. T3 hates Panerai. Well, the truth is, I don't know if I can go as far as to say I hate Panerai. I just hate what they're doing right now. Because I did recently make an episode explaining why I'll probably never purchase another Panerai in the future, and I made a laundry list of complaints about this company. Now, inevitably, when my viewers, new and old, watch that video, and it's a fairly recent video, I get a bunch of people in my comment section, in my inbox, in my emails, and during the live streams, asking me if I have such an issue with Panerai, why don't I sell my PAM 00111? We're going to be talking about that today, and don't worry, I think we might be able to fix Panerai. It's 2:34 p.m. Let's get down to business. Okay, so I don't like Panerai as a company. Currently, they're messing up, so why don't I just sell the Panerai I own and get something I do like? Well, here's what I have to say about that. Just because a company isn't producing anything I like currently doesn't mean I should get rid of the products I own from a time when I did really like them. In fact, I think just the opposite. Flip it. Oh my God. Everything looks different from here. For instance, I don't currently like anything Rolex is doing, essentially. Like, okay, I'd wear a Sky Dweller with that slate dial and Everose. But for the most part, modern Rolex is up big time. But why would I get rid of all the vintage Rolexes I own that made me fall in love with that brand in the first place? You see, I think when a watchmaker has kind of lost their way, that's all the more reason to go back in time and scoop up the products from an era when they were still making really great products. I mean, why do you think vintage Hoyer is way more sought after and desirable than anything Tag is producing? So yeah, Panerai as a company has been making misstep after misstep after misstep lately, but there still are Panerai watches out there that are incredible and that I'd love to own. I'm looking at you, Bronzo. I have two. In my dreams. So it's true, guys, I love Panerai watches, just not really anything current. But I think that we can crack the code. Okay, what can we do to fix Panerai once and for all? Number one, stop with the limited editions. Okay, just stop. Panerai has gone the way of Seiko in more than one way. We're going to talk about that in a moment. They've gone the way of Omega. Everything Panerai releases lately is some form of special edition or limited edition. And again, when everything a company releases is a special edition, it means like nothing is that special. Just like stop. But I've harped on that before, so let's move on. If you're going to produce a limited edition or a special edition, then Panerai, you gotta actually put the time and effort in to make it special. That's right, this is going to take some effort from you and your watchmakers and your design team. No more botched special releases like that Brooklyn Bridge edition. Now I know, people always talk about this crazy Brooklyn Bridge edition from Panerai and how it was a huge mess up. If you wanna learn more about why that was just a huge mistake, go ahead and watch my Panerai episode where I say I'm never going to buy another one. I explain everything about that total just chaotic release. So literally a second ago, I just said that Panerai has gone the way of Seiko. Well, maybe Seiko has kind of gone the way of Panerai, but I guess it's kind of chicken or the egg. You see, to fix themselves, Panerai has got to stop releasing hyper expensive versions of the Seiko 5KX. What do I mean by that? Well, the 5KX bumped off the Seiko SKX and is released as a dive style watch. Guys, it's not a dive watch. You don't need the water resistance rating. You don't even need a threaded crown because you're not going to get it wet. So this is just inspired by a dive watch. Sure, it's not that hard to have a threaded crown, and it's not that hard to give it an ISO rated case because we've done it before with the Seiko SKX, but no, we're gonna cut costs, we're gonna get rid of that, we're gonna give it some stupid cartoon characters, and yes guys, I watch Naruto, I play Street Fighter, okay, I get it, I love anime, I'm a weeb. I'm not complaining about the cartoon characters or the anime characters themselves. I'm saying that if that's the only thing that's cool about that Seiko 5, then it's not that cool. It's still a garbage watch. Again, I'm in the middle of Demon Slayer. If they made a Demon Slayer edition Seiko 5KX, I might get it. But all jokes aside, what I'm saying is Seiko released the 5KX, which is a dive style watch. Now the thing is, that's like a $200 watch. You see, Panerai has been releasing dive style watches with the iconic case and the crown lock, but only giving it a 30-meter water resistance rating, and they themselves do not want you to get this wet at all. Because again, guys, a 30-meter water resistance rating doesn't mean it will survive 30 meters underwater. You should treat that like a piece of paper. It's a pressure rating, not a moisture rating. Again, like, the Longa Datograph has a 30-meter water resistance rating. Go ahead and put that in your swimming pool. It's not even 30 meters deep, and tell me how that works out. It's not gonna work out very well. See, these rants, they're kind of fast and loose. We get a little bit crazy with these tangents, but what I'm trying to get at is if you're going to release a Panerai with the iconic Panerai case and crown lock, it's gotta have more than a 30-meter water resistance rating. I'm not going to spend, you know, tens of thousands of dollars on a Panerai dive-inspired, dive-style watch. It's just silly. It's stupid. So you gotta stop doing that, Panerai, because you're not Seiko 5. Oh my god, people are gonna get so butt mad. I love my Naruto Seiko 5. You're not. Worst channel on YouTube. How does this guy even have any subscribers? Like, I can't believe he considers himself a watch expert. Okay, the Seiko 5KX is totally different than the Seiko SKX, and technically it didn't even take the place of the SKX. So the fact that he keeps complaining about a watch with a 100-meter water resistance rating and no threaded crowns, like, what does he think? He's actually gonna go swim 100 meters? Like, I bet he doesn't even know how to. Shut up! That's right.
I think the time teller is really cool, and he has a really nice beard.
Now kiss. Man, thumbs up if you like just the semi-controlled chaos of these T3 watch rants. When I first started this channel, I had no idea that it would be like this. I'm crazy, I think. Wow. Next on the list of what Panerai can do to fix themselves is to invest in more countermeasures against counterfeiting. Okay, here's what I mean. Start decorating your movements. Okay, this brings us back to the Brooklyn Bridge edition, but more specifically, back in my day with my Panerai, sure, it didn't have the fancy schmancy sandwich style, but that's easy to fake. It did, however, have a highly decorated movement. Now, right after they stopped producing my PAM 0111, what they did was stop decorating the movement, and man, the counterfeiters had a field day because they're like, wow, this is way easier. We don't have that much detail to do, so we're just gonna get this movement, we're going to source it, mass produce it, and yeah, it's just bada bing, bada boom, very, very easy. So Panerai, stop taking the easy way out, stop cutting corners, decorate your movements, put more details, invest more time in your watches, and it'll make it that much more difficult for a counterfeiter to come close to one of your authentic watches. Another countermeasure against counterfeiters would be investing in more training among Panerai personnel. What do I mean by that? Well, improve your quality control. Have more of your people holding on to Panerais. Okay, Here's what I mean. The more time a Panerai watch is in human hands, the more time your personnel knows what to look for, the more time these people, like human hands, human brains, are spending with the watches. Yes, it's going to be more expensive, but it's going to make for a much more streamlined QC process. It's going to make for people that work for Panerai actually knowing what to look for. And guys, I've heard horror stories. This might be, anecdotal, but I've heard horror stories firsthand of Panerai owners sending their watches to Panerai multiple times to get things fixed, having Panerai fix them, only to find out later that it was counterfeit. How did that fall through the cracks? That is freaky. And the final point that I want to make when it comes to how Panerai can fix themselves, and also this is kind of the proof as to why I know some people at Panerai don't know what to look for when they're talking about Panerai watches. Stop posting fake Panerais on Panerai verified social media. That's right, guys. Over this summer, or summer 2020, I should say, there were multiple fake Panerais posted on Panerai's Instagram. There were huge outcries in the comment section, other watch aficionados, other Panerai lovers being like, yo, Panerai, that is fake. And Panerai didn't even jump to remedy the issue. They just left the images up until they got enough backlash to prompt them to finally delete the photos. That is a big bummer. Okay, if you're hiring people that not only work on fake Panerais, let's say that story didn't happen. Let's say the people I heard it from were fudging it. Let's say they were embellishing a little bit. Okay, so fine. They didn't send a fake Panerai into Panerai and get it fixed a few times. This is still proof that people that work for Panerai don't really know what they're looking at when they post images of fake Panerais on Panerai Instagram accounts promoting the watches. That is freaky. It's insane. Imagine Rolex doing that, or Patek doing that, or Seiko doing that, although there aren't really a whole lot of fake Seikos when we're comparing, the counterfeit markets to Rolex or Panerai. I think Panerai has almost overtaken Rolex when it comes to counterfeiting. It's insanity. So guys, this rant was crazy. I'm gonna wrap it up here. In conclusion, Panerai, if you can pull these things off, I might buy another one in the future, who knows? But you're probably not gonna watch this episode and you're probably not gonna do what I'm talking about. So yeah, I probably won't buy another Panerai in the future, but I'm happy to keep the Panerai that I do own currently. And if I find a Bronzo that I like, or one of the other older, less current Panerais, I'd probably buy one of those too. So guys, don't write off a company just because they're currently not doing something you like. And again, I love Heuer, don't like Tag Heuer. I love older Panerai, not a big fan of current Panerai. I love older Rolex, not a big fan of current Rolex. Even Seiko's kind of messing up right now, but I still love Seiko. I have a cat named Seiko, actually. I am a nerd. So guys, I would love to hear your perspective on this. What do you think about companies kind of losing their way, and then would you just unload the watches? Like Seiko, maybe they're not doing the best when it comes to, limited editions and the whole 5KX thing, and then bumping up their prices. Would you sell your Alpinist, for instance? Would you sell your SKX just because Seiko is kind of currently not the same company? No, you'd probably keep those watches, and it'd probably make those watches more special to you because they're from a time when Seiko was actually doing the right thing. Again, same with Rolex. Currently, Rolex isn't doing what I really would want them to do, so I don't buy those. I buy the older ones. It's kind of common sense, right? So no, I'm not going to sell my Panerai. I'm going to keep my Panerai because it's from a time when I loved them. But guys, again, leave me the comment. I want to hear from you, and I will talk to you in the comment section. And I want to thank you for checking out my personal website, www.thetimetellershop.com. I want to thank you for checking out the affiliate links in the description below. It's a great way of supporting the channel. Thank you for joining the channel memberships. Click that join button next to the subscribe button. It's like YouTube's Patreon. $4.99 a month gets you some extra content and access to that members only Discord chat. By far, the easiest way to support this channel is just to keep doing what you're doing and hanging out with me every time I upload. And comment. Be sure to comment. Believe it or not, commenting really does help the algorithm more than you can know, or more than I knew, I should say. Commenting is like really, really important. So yeah, thank you for interacting with the channel. Thank you for being here. And thanks for, you know, just chilling with me and sharing your perspective, because I learn from you just as much as you learn from me. So it's kind of symbiotic. Is that the word? I surprise myself with my intellect every day as I draw faces on my hands. Oh God. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this rant. Have an amazing weekend, or whatever day of the week that you're watching this. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.